Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard of the recent battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Now, the reason why I'm covering this, although this is not a music channel, is simply because some of the allegations that were being shot out in these songs were pretty jarring in my personal opinion. And I have to admit, as a Drake fan, I had no idea that there were these allegations out against Drake until these songs came out. I could take an objective, unbiased look at the two of these things, but if we're gonna make accusations like this, there's gotta be some sort of proof, right?
Drake's rise to success is nothing short of impressive. With over 170 million records sold and 193 awards, 36-year-old Drake is ranked as the highest certified digital singles artist in the United States. From his radio-friendly hits to his nice guy image, it's rare to hear anything negative about the artist. However, over the past 14 years, a pattern has emerged, leading to some fans questioning what's going on behind the scenes. The conversation started when footage from a 2010 Drake concert began circulating the internet. Footage where a 23-year-old Drake invites a girl from the crowd on stage, dances with her, smells her hair, massages her shoulders, puts his arms around her, and then starts to kiss her neck. He then says that he's going to get carried away before asking how old she is.
How old are you?
Drake walks away.
Me personally, as an artist, or as someone who used to make music, I've never had anyone on stage to begin with, but even if I did, I'm not gonna lie, the first thing I'm doing is checking IDs. I don't give a fuck. That might look weird, that might throw off the fucking show or whatever the case. I'm checking IDs because the last thing anyone wants is to end up in a situation like that. And especially with the age that we live in now where everything is recorded, it's crazy to see how this is coming back to haunt him. And now, I'm not saying this is hardcore evidence and he's guilty of whatever he's being accused of, but if the behavior is there, it could be a little telling.
While making a joke about going to jail, before turning back to her and saying, 17? Why do you look like that? You thick. Look at all of this. He continues saying, I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun.
That's weird. I'm not gonna lie. That is kind of weird, especially after realizing her age. Listen, if it were me, and this is not even me trying to be like holier than thou, but if she had said she was 17 right at that point, once I were to ask her, I'm telling her, please get off the stage. Like ASAP. Because it's bad enough. Like, okay, it's one thing to do something by accident, and then like you ask and you find out the age and it's like, oh, okay. Again, this is not excusing any sort of behavior in that fashion, but I'm just saying for argument's sake. But it's a whole nother ordeal to then go ahead and continue with the harassment and flirting after knowing her age, given the gap. And listen, I don't care what anyone says. 17 could be the age of consent all you want, but please, let's just agree that that's fucking weird. I can get the argument that, okay, maybe someone your age might carry trauma or whatever the case may be, like insert whatever argument here. But at the end of the day, I don't think, at least in my personal opinion, that gap shouldn't exceed more than like 5 to 6. Maybe there are some special cases when the both of you are like she's in her like mid 20s or whatever the case may be, but I don't think the age gap should be that far apart.
Like the way you're feel against my chest. He then kisses her on the cheek as well as her forehead before ending the bit and continuing the show. Now, it's understandable that this was crowd interaction gone wrong, but him continuing to make sexual comments about her body and kissing her multiple times after learning her age had some fans raising their eyebrows. However, this wouldn't be the last time Drake finds himself around minors. In a 2023 No Jumper interview with producer Lil Cece, she discusses how she first met Drake, saying that in 2015, she was on a high school basketball team, and Drake, being a fan of women's high school basketball, followed both her teammate and herself.
I was her teammate, so he followed me because of her.
At the time, Drake would have been 29. The same year, Drake would post on Instagram, celebrating the release of Baka Not Nice, a rapper, friend, and member of Drake's record label, OVO, following a stint in jail for allegedly forcing a 22-year-old woman into prostitution prostitution, a weapons charge, and human trafficking. The now deleted post read, "Something in the air today. A lot of good things happening at once. But this one means the most. Been waiting 11 months. Baka finally home." 1 year later, in May of 2016, 29-year-old Drake was spotted eating dinner with 18-year-old Hailey Bieber in West Hollywood. Due to their allegedly flirty interaction and Drake wearing a matching H necklace, rumors of them dating began circulating, with Entertainment Tonight even alleging that the two hooked up at Drake's Memorial Day party. However, during this time, Hailey did an interview with E! News, revealing that she'd known Drake for around 4 years at this point, meaning that a 25-year-old Drake first met Hailey when she was just 14.
I mean, you come to your own conclusion. That's grooming. That's grooming. Like, you know what's so crazy? There's a lot of times you hear in the media where it's like, oh, this person groomed this person groomed that one. And for me, in my personal opinion, I have nothing in common with someone who's 14 years old. Like, I'm a grown-ass man. What am I going to be doing talking to a 14-year-old? You know what I mean? Even when I'm talking to my nieces and nephews, my communication goes through their parents first. I don't have their numbers. For what? The fuck we gonna talk about? So to hear something like this, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty jarring. And as a Drake fan, as someone who appreciates his music, it's kind of hard to defend something like this. And again, these things might be alleged, right? And although the proof is here, I wouldn't say there is any proof saying that he did anything physically with Hailey in this manner. But yeah, this shit is hard to defend. Let's keep watching.
A big part of the conversation here is, why does Drake routinely find himself around 14 to 17-year-old girls? What does a 25-year-old man have in common with a 14-year-old? And wouldn't it feel weird to date someone you've always known to be a child right after they legally become an adult? In 2018, a now 32-year-old Drake released a song titled Nice for What, featuring the line, "High school pics, you was even bad then." 3 months later, on July 22nd, an article titled, "What Would You Do If Your Teenager Became an Overnight Instagram Sensation" was released by The Guardian, detailing a story about 16-year-old Charlie D'Alessio going viral on Instagram after being tagged in pictures at Coachella. The article describes the photos as Charlotte wearing bodysuits, bikini tops, and jean shorts. Her mother, Christina Ford, recounts the moment she realized how popular the photos were making her daughter, saying, "They were in the back of the car chatting away and checking in on social to say they were in Toronto, just like normal teenagers. And then suddenly Madison was like, oh god, it's Drake FaceTiming us. Should I answer?" As Ford drove on, listening to her daughter and her friend chatting away in the back seat with one of the biggest hip-hop stars on the planet, she felt the world as she knew it shifting under the wheels of her car. "I thought, okay, she's hanging out with Drake. I guess this is for real." Later that month, Drake would release a song titled Jaded, featuring the line, "We coulda waited. I wasn't Russian. Differences in ages, you're old enough, but you're still a baby." And 2 months later in September, 14-year-old Millie Bobby Brown would attend the Emmys and mentioned in a red carpet interview that her and 32-year-old Drake text after meeting each other in Australia after...
Damn, this Drizzy, bro. Holy shit, man. This Drizzy, bro. What the You know, it seems like once you hit these levels, like once you start balling, the power trip just goes to your fucking head. And maybe this isn't the case for everyone, but I mean, how does this even happen? Like, with all the options of women you can choose from, like you literally have a smorgasbord of women. As crass as that sounds, ladies, I'm sorry, but given a person of that stature and status, that's kind of what it is for him, right? And yet still find yourself communicating with women that are, quote unquote, women that are that young? I myself am at a loss for words. That's strange, man. Like, even if we're talking about from like a friendship perspective, just think about these optics. How does it look to be 30 plus messaging and communicating with someone that is 14 to 17 years old? and then staying in communication with them until they're, of legal age, and then you take them out. It's just very strange stuff, if you ask me.
After he invited her to his concert, and that their conversations mostly consist of Drake giving her boy advice and saying how much they miss each other.
We just texted each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more.
This was the first time Drake's pattern of being around underage girls really began circulating online, with many people speculating what someone with an 18-year age gap can really have in common.
I'm 34 years old.
Yeah.
If I said to you, I was texting a 14-year-old girl saying, I miss you so much, and she was replying to me, I miss you more, would you not think, hold on here a second, that's weird?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just like I said before, that is weird. The optics of it seem very strange. How do you explain this away, Drake?
Millie would take to Instagram and defend Drake, saying, why you gotta make a lovely friendship your headline? You guys are weird, for real. I'm lucky to have people in the business extend their time to help me further my career and offer their wisdom and guidance. I'm very blessed to have amazing people in my life. You don't get to choose that for me. It's nice to have people understand what I do. Now get back to talking about real problems in this world other than my friendships. Jeez. However, a month later, as Drake was on tour, blind items began circulating, with people speculating who the noted foreign-born A-plus list singer/rapper could be. A year later, on November 25th, 2019, 17-year-old Billie Eilish sat down for an interview with Vanity Fair and revealed that one of the most famous people in her phone is Drake. She would go on to say that Drake is like the nicest dude I've ever spoken to. I mean, I've only texted him, but he's so nice. He does not need to be nice. You know what I mean? Between the Millie Bobby Brown interview and now this one with Billie Eilish, some people really started to question why a now 33-year-old man is in contact with so many children, pointing out that if you remove the celebrity status of everyone, this sort of relationship would never be supported.
That is super true. And unfortunately, not to say that this is okay, but this is kind of like the, I wouldn't even say a privilege because that also sounds weird as hell to say, but it doesn't get as much scrutiny as it would if it was just some regular 33-year-old fucking schmuck working at Starbucks messaging young girls. Shit, it's crazy to see how money and status gives you such privileges that, a good majority of people would never be able to afford to have.
On October 1st, 2020, Drake rapped on 21 Savage's song, Mr. Right Now, saying the line, yeah, said she wanna fuck to some SZA. Wait, cause I used to date SZA back in '08. In 2008, Drake would have been 22, and SZA would have just been 17. In a tweet, SZA confirmed that they did date, but insisted that their dynamic didn't involve anything underage or creepy.
How does that even make sense? Y'all were dating. Yeah, come on. Damn, this shit is really undefensible. It's creeping me out, to be quite honest. This is really, really indefensible. I don't know. I'm not gonna cover the entirety of it. I want to give Internet Oddities his just due. Make sure you go check him out. Check out his page. Leave him a like and subscribe. Leave me a like and subscribe too, goddammit. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let's make this a discussion, not necessarily about the music, but more so about the parameters and the alleged allegations. But more specifically, let's use this as a potential case study for the stance of men should be dating younger women. Listen, if you're dating a woman who is 21 plus and you met her when she was 21 plus and there is an age gap there, then by all means have at it. But in my personal opinion, I think in no way, shape, or form should a grown-ass man be talking to a 14 to 17-year-old and then keeping that communication up with them until they become of legal age and then start actually dating them. That inherently is grooming, right? That's exactly what it is. So I think this is creepy. This doesn't absolve Kendrick Lamar from any potential accusations of DV as well, because let's get one thing clear. Neither of those two things are okay. Whether you're grooming and dating younger women or beating the shit out of your 5'8", 5'9" fiance, I don't think any of that is excusable. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.